A very warm welcome, everyone. I, Dr. Ritika Dhiman, on behalf of Voice of Healthcare, thank you all for joining us today as we pay tribute to the exceptional healthcare professionals who tirelessly look after our well being day and night. Voice of Healthcare, along with our supporting partner Apollo Hospitals, has taken an initiative to recognize National Doctors Day through our video series Know Your Doctor, which aims to showcase the diverse interest and passion of our esteemed doctors. On this National Doctors Day, let us express our gratitude to these extraordinary individuals. So let's get started with the introduction. I welcome Dr. Pavan Patel, Consultant Pediatric Cardiology, Apollo Hospitals. Welcome, Dr. Patel.
Thank you, Dr. Ritika, for such a warm welcome.
Wishing you a very happy Doctors Day.
Thank you. Very happy Doctor's Day to all of you.
Yes. So, beginning with this interview, are there any books, movies, or documentaries that have a significant impact on your personal or professional life?
Well, you always need right role models, and those role models can be in form of books, parents. No, it could be anything. So, talking about the books, yes, there have been quite a few books that have had a significant impact. I'd rather talk about the non-medical aspects of inspiration. Books that have inspired me go far beyond medicine. The decision to take up medicine, no, it is ingrained right in the early childhood. So it was a dream for me to become a doctor. So it started early in my schooling days. I'd rather not point a single book. There have been a series of books, or rather say varied number of books that have inspired me. Secondly, there have been a few role models beyond books which I'd rather point out. Firstly, my parents, my mother. She is probably my first role model. She's the one who inspired me by setting up an example. And no, I always believe that it's the foundation of your character is in the schooling days, in those early days of your childhood, and your character is revealed in the later phase of your life. So I think the foundation was laid early in my schooling years, and I think the the fruits that you reap in the later half of your life, I think the seeds have to be sown in those early years. So apart from some of the inspiration books, I'll not quote one or two. uh, my parents, probably my mother, she has been a great source of motivation for me. Growing up, I think I was blessed to have some really good teachers in my schooling days as well as in my medical career. My mentors in my post graduation and my subspecialty days, right, I am indebted to them for being a role model, not just teaching medicine but beyond medicine. No, because we don't deal just with life, we deal with families, we have social impact beyond just medicine. So I think that aspect of medicine which is usually not taught in the books, I was just lucky enough to have some really good mentors.
Right, that's an inspiring, journey from your childhood till fulfilling your dreams that you have dreamed as a child. And you have talked about your mother, your parents, and your teachers who have been your role model, not just for being in medicine, but the social aspect of it that you talked about. And talking about the social aspects, do you have any interesting stories or experiences from your medical career that have deeply influenced your perspective on patient care or practice of medicine?
Absolutely. So like my undergraduation as well as post graduation, no, I was basically working in a government setup, right? I did every my undergraduation as well as my post graduation and government colleges. So during those days when I used to be working there as a student, we used to have some peripheral postings. So I have worked as a part of a team in a lot of institutions. I have been to the tribal areas. I've done a lot of health camps, for reaching out, some of the most underprivileged sections of the society. I've roamed all across the country, right from Guwahati to Patna to to every small from last from if you talk about Patna or Jharkhand, if you talk about the most backward states of the country to even the most backward hilly areas where there is no access to healthcare. I've done quite a few health camps, and that has given me an insight about the existing healthcare issues with the society. Look, when we look about the quality aspect, like I have always believed that quality should never be compromised, even when dealing with even the poorest of the people. Like with a lot of government health schemes coming up, a lot of social schemes, social programs coming up, and that getting incorporated into our daily practices. I always believed that irrespective of the class of the patient or where the patient comes from or who the patient is, your approach should remain the same. Quality should never be compromised, irrespective of the class of the patient or irrespective of the ability of the patient to pay you. So I think that principle I have always stuck to. So whether it is the poorest of the patient coming from the remotest of the peripheries or it is an urban well-educated patient, I think the quality should remain the same. So I think that aspect has always been my principal ethic when dealing with patients. Coming to peripheries, uh, there have been a lot of patients. I have treated like thousands of patients from the remotest of the peripheries with language barriers, from language barriers to communication barriers, barriers of knowledge, barriers of customs, barriers, taboos. I faced a lot beyond just medicine. Convincing a patient in our country who is coming from a relatively poorer background, who have their own notions about healthcare, that goes beyond just practicing medicine. The treatment starts, with the first interaction. You understand what their background is, what their thought process is, how they think about doctors, what they think about medicine, what are the social problems with which the patient comes from. A specific problem that I really face in our country is certain lack of I would say apathy towards the girl child in the country. That has something of a really big problem for me, and I think I with social counseling involving the counselors, a team of members who can communicate to them in their local language, getting some really prominent members from their society involved in the decision making, I think to an extent have been able to pierce that thing. But I think that issue still hampers a lot of healthcare delivery in our country. So I that has been one of the most remarkable achievements that I think, treating a lot of girl children from the remotest of the peripheries and sending them home happily. I really consider that as one of my achievements.
Right, and we are proud of you for doing that as well. And you have a very great set of principles and ethics when it comes to treating patients. And I'm sure you have touched a lot of lives that you have talked about just now. The treatment of girl child is something that everybody should be aware of, that there should not be any social taboos when we are treating certain diseases with respect to women. So hats off to your ethics and principles, that the quality of healthcare, you think your thoughts about the quality of healthcare, about the poorest of the people and the people who are living where the healthcare is not accessible. So I really we are very proud of you for being what you are, doing what you do. And moving on to the last set of the questions. What is that message that you would like to give to your fellow doctors, apart from the professional aspect of being a doctor?
So the message I would like to give to fellow doctors, not just practicing my specialty pediatric cardiology, but other specialties as well, is that uh, firstly there have been a lot of advancements So a lot of technologies have come up, and the patient care has improved drastically in the last no, few years. We have a lot of newer kind of technologies now. Artificial intelligence has come up. A lot of wearable and trackable devices have come up. Then we constantly remain updated through a lot of CMEs, conferences. Specifically for my branch, I would say, 3D printing has come up. Minimally invasive surgeries have come up. Genetics have advanced a lot. Remote monitoring devices have come up. I think all these have significantly improved patient outcomes. And a lot of children who were initially not treatable, are now completely treatable and living a happy and healthy life. Beyond these technical aspects, one thing I think the message that I'd like to give to fellow people is that it all starts with empathy, right? So it's not just, you are not just a doctor. You are first a human being, then you are a doctor. However, when dealing with patients, the first and foremost thing which we are probably losing out is on empathy. I think the first touch, the first connection with the patient is really important. Rest all can fall into place if we have that empathy. So just a small message that we all are doing really good work. I think that doctor community is working really hard day in and day out, uh, and all the healthcare workers. Oh, it's the team. We're working all as a team, and we are doing great beyond medicine as well. I think just the social aspects, if you look, the doctor patient relation in the previous years, what it used to be, like doctors used to be worshipped like a god. They were considered second to God. Today, I do not think that the same kind of doctor patient relation exists. But yes, I do consider that still doctors have a lot of responsibility, not for a pediatric cardiologist like me, who usually deal with the anxiety of the parents. Our responsibility goes beyond the patient. We deal with the society.
Right. See, you are still talking about the patients. When you are giving message to your fellow doctors, you're talking about empathy towards patient. That is a very right thing,
True.
right message that you are giving out. But apart from that, I would like to add that we should have empathy for doctors as well. Not
Absolutely.
just not just patients. So we have to be empathetic towards doctors as well. Our colleagues, as doctors. So that's what, just adding one bit to your message.
Yes,
so
yes, Dr. Ritika, absolutely.
so, with this, I would like to end this session here, and I would like to thank you and all the doctors who selflessly serve our nation's health. And together, let's salute your dedication, compassion, and unwavering commitment, towards our health. So, thank you so much, Dr. Patel, for doing that, doing what you are doing to your patients, being empathetic towards the patient, but to the doctors as well. So thank you so much, Dr. Patel. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Ritika, for me. Happy Doctors Day.